When my alarm went off this morning at 5 a.m., I was like, damn, I really don't have to get up this early and do sprints. Our identity is composed of repeated evidence of behaviors, actions. I know that the man that I'm becoming is not sleeping in, is not snoozing his alarm. Every single decision is either getting you closer or further from your ideal self. And that's been a big part of how I live. What is going on, beautiful people? It is a beautiful morning. We're at the field. It's like 5:45 right now. Been up for a little bit, hydrated, got my morning push-ups and pull-ups if you guys follow me on Instagram. And now we are at the field, getting a little bit of sprint work in. If I got some crazy hairs because I didn't shower yet, but I got some sprint work in. There's like a light fog on the field. Let me see if you guys can see it. Yeah, I don't know how well this camera picks up on like the fog, but it's a good vibe, man. Sunrise sprints, fog here. And there's something special just about being out here early, being the only one out here. It's just peaceful, different type of serenity, right? But really, I'm trying to get back into sprinting. I've been doing a lot of just like longer distance runs, mid-distance runs, and even like hill sprints. But I want to get back into just flat sprinting. And today we're just working the beginning portion of the progression, working just 10, 20-yard sprints, nothing too crazy. Waking up the system, a great start to the day. Be lacing up the cleats here. You know, when my alarm went off this morning at 5 a.m., I was like, damn, I really don't have to get up this early and do sprints. And obviously I don't have to. I don't have like a coach or a team being like, yo, you gotta get out here. Just myself, you know? But I think that's the beauty of it, is making those decisions in those split moments. Because the way I look at it, our identity is composed of just repeated evidence of behaviors, actions, and I know that the man that I'm becoming is not sleeping in, is not snoozing his alarm, and is not waiting until the end of the day to get some work in. I know the man that I'm becoming wakes up early, gets after it, has a structured routine, and doesn't make excuses, you know? And that very first excuse is something everyone experiences, is that excuse of, I could sleep a little bit longer, but fuck that, you know? Every single decision is either getting you closer or further from your ideal self. And that's been a big part of how I live. Defining my ideal self, reverse engineering it, all the behaviors, all the standards I have to hold myself to in order to get there, and then just executing on it. And after enough time, enough volume, we're bound to get there. So let's start this warm up. Start off simple, just some high knees, a little A skip. And some of you guys might be wondering, like, what's the point of being out here doing sprints if you're not competing anymore? I'm a firm believer in being the most physically capable version of yourself, right? And for me, that is sprinting, that is doing a bunch of shit, right? To pursue that physical excellence, because I need to be prepared for anything life throws my way. A little bit of pogos, warm up the feet and ankles. Get some switches. Got some people pulling up. Hopefully it's not like a practice or something. It'd be pretty early for a practice. Other leg. Get some broads in. I like broad jumps. Use some nice triple extension. I saw someone say, if you're not clearing 30 feet or 10 yards with your triple broad, then you don't actually run like a XYZ 40 time. This is pretty easy. I was like, let's see if I got it though. Yeah, that was pretty easy. Yeah, I beat the maintenance guys here this morning. Another thing for you guys is like, obviously I could do these sprints at any time of day, but I preach to the people on my Instagram, like, it's not just about the physical, it's about the mental. Because what do you do when you wake up, that alarm's going off at 5 a.m. and that inner voice is like, snooze, sleep in. You don't have to do sprints this morning, right? What do you do when you have a ton of good momentum and that voice tells you, get a cheat meal? It don't matter, XYZ. So it's super important that you dial in your mental, and it's by doing things like this that you dial in the mental. All right, y'all seen it. That, my friends, is how you warm up. Calves are a little tight from doing the broads, but I gotta get a little clip here vertically for the IG. If it wasn't here, it didn't happen. So I'll see you guys. We officially popped the top off, so you know it means business. Make sure the camera's still good. But being out here, y'all, no music, just listening to the birds, my crazy ass bedhead, nothing better than it. Sometimes it's nice to just be here, getting that work in with your own thoughts, no music clouding, got the sun coming up over the distance. And a big theme for today, quality over quantity. When I was younger, I would exhaust myself, but there's no need, especially with something as potent as sprinting, and even the style of lifting I do, to be going 20 reps, 30 reps. Just doing 4 sets of 10-yard accelerations, and 4 reps of 20-yard accelerations. Keeping it super light. We have a lower session later today after I do my work and do a bunch of shit, so let's get to it. And guys, another huge thing, I'm gonna adjust the camera for these 20 yards. Sprinting is so anabolic. It has such a potent hormonal response with your growth hormone, with your testosterone. I mean, look at me, I'm all fucking diced up. And it's so much better for you hormonally than distance running. And this shit gets you shredded, bro. And this shit makes you powerful. Why are you sprinting? You're not competing. Like, just do distance running, like everyone else. But sprinting is so anabolic. It's such a potent stimulus. It has such a crazy hormonal response. And not only does it keep you shredded and has that hormonal response, it allows you to build power, build explosiveness, and keep your nervous system in tune and on go, even into your later years. That's one of the biggest things that people lose quickly. They lose that twitchiness. They lose that youthfulness, not realizing it's their nervous system's ability to produce force quickly because they haven't used it. So they lost it. That's one thing, because having the most physically capable body, you got to keep up with shit like this. It's non-negotiable. Little 20-yarders for the sunrise. And shout out to maintenance dudes over here for even having this place open. I hope the camera's on me. Not to sound like narcissistic or anything. I'm just trying to make sure y'all see me. Hell yeah, boys. Sun's coming up. These sprints are feeling snappy. They're feeling crisp. I couldn't be more grateful. God's blessed this day, another day. I'm super excited for this new training block of incorporating sprinting. And once my client Paul finishes this little block for himself, I'm going to incorporate some sprints for him as well, because it's super important. I mean, he's like 38, 39. It's super important that he also gradually gets back into sprinting. I would never throw him into 40-yard dashes, 100-meter sprints. He'll fucking bust his shit up. Because if you don't do it, you lose it. I fucking busted my shit up doing sprinting once upon a time as well. That's why I'm just starting 10 yards, 20 yards, build-ups, right? That's where the money's made. People want to skip the foundation, but it's like I always tell you, the foundation is what everything builds off of. The isometrics, the mobility, then the plyos come. The slow build-ups, then the 40 yards come. All right, boys, final rep here as the sun is rising. And it's perfect because it's like all my reps, since the rep count is so conservative, they're all quality. We always want quality over quantity. I'd rather 3 really good reps of a good power clean weight than 10 reps that are fatigued and shitty. Adaptation lives in the quality, right? Not quantity. This isn't bodybuilding. This isn't hypertrophy. This is training for capability. And capability is characterized by speed, power, explosiveness, things that need quality over quantity. 6:05, sun's coming up, sprints are done. I just want to top it off with like 2 quality broad jumps just to see where I'm falling at. I'll be happy with anything over 10 feet, although it's kind of hard to quantify because this is in yards, so I have to kind of like eyeball it. But as long as I'm over that 3-yard line by a foot, I guess it's not that hard to quantify, we'll see. Definitely over 10 feet. We'll take it. Even in something that seems as little as a sprinting session, it's not very consequential, it's not very high impact. Guys, this is where you truly build yourself. In these non-consequential, seemingly low impact moments that aren't going to define a whole lot. It's not a meeting with your boss. It's not an argument with your significant other.
but it's these little micro actions that remind us of who we're becoming. You know, you can have the physical, but here's the thing, guys. Before I aligned myself internally, before I got my mind right, you could have given me the best plan in the entire world and it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because the finest chisel is wasted in a novice's hands. And I didn't have the internal to stem from. Depraved roots can't bear balanced fruit. I would have had the best plan in the world, but I would have been eating cheat meals still. I would have been smoking weed still. I would have been drinking on the weekends still. And how can I get the best physical results if my internal isn't aligned to actually allow that? But now that everything's aligned, I'm in the best shape I've ever been, the most athletic I've ever been, the most aligned and at peace I've ever been with the journey, with the mission, with who I'm becoming. Always remember that the physical is great, but you can't be the most physically capable version of yourself without dialing in your mental. So that's a wrap for today's video. I'm gonna go home. I got some work to do, some breakfast to make, and I gotta loosen up a little bit before my lower lift later on. Again, the lower lift later on is just low volume, high intention. So some conservative reps of power cleans. No, not today. Some conservative reps of box squat, conservative reps of some depth jumps, things of this nature. Because adaptation lives in the quality reps, not the quantity, not exhaustion, and not fatigue. That's all I got for you guys today. If you haven't yet, check out my Instagram. If you haven't checked out my Instagram yet, I put that in the description. Daily content, daily stories for you guys to always stay in the loop and up to date on just whatever info I'm dropping, whatever game I'm dropping. But I really appreciate y'all if you made it to the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace, love, and prosperity. Love y'all, gang. Catch you in the next one.